Welcome back to Midday. We're joined now by Sandy Volo of Abbott Wealth Management. How are you?
I'm just great. How are you doing?
Good.
Sunny day?
I know, and it looks like it's getting a little nicer out there.
I know,
Hopefully.
I hope so. Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to some more sun.
I know, me too. Well, we do have some very interesting stuff to chat about today, and it's pensions is what we're going to focus on. So there's a lot that we should know about pensions. So we'll kind of hit some key things.
Exactly.
Like, there are two types of pensions, for instance.
There are the basic two. It's the defined contribution benefit plan or pension plan and the defined benefit plan. So under the defined contribution plan, you and your employer are both putting in, equal amounts. You actually are in charge of the investments inside that pension. So you're going to choose like a balance fund, a dividend fund, something that fits with your risk profile. Yep. And then at the end of your career, you're going to take that pension and commute it into an income. So there's no guarantee of what that income looks like because it's all based on what has happened. So essentially, it takes the risk off of the company that's that you're working for. Yeah. The defined benefit plan has been around a lot longer, so it's not as popular as it used to be, although the benefit is great because it's guaranteed. Okay. So you each are putting in money, you've got professional managers that are looking after it, so the decisions are taken out of your hands. Yeah. And then at the end of your career what you're going to get, and it's based on a calculation of your income and the amount of time you've put in with your employer. So the longer you've been working, the higher your benefit will be. That's awesome. So there's perks to both of them. There are, definitely. Like with the commuted pension or the defined contribution pension, you could, if you want to take it, and bring it into your own pool of investments. Some are locked in, of course, but then it gives you control. You can also then leave it to your successors, which sometimes with pension plans that are, regulated by your pension company, you have definite restrictions on how those are taken out and/or timelines. So. Yeah.
Okay. And we want to be sure of our benefit. What do you guys mean by that?
Definitely. So when you retire, if you've got family, you've got a wife, you've got children, you want to make sure that they're looked after should something happen to you. So there's options available. Now, if you have a spouse, for instance, that maybe doesn't have a pension, probably the most attractive election would be the joint survivor option. Okay. And you can do that where there's a 50%, payable to your spouse should you die, 60 and/or 100%. You just want to be sure that if you say you chose the 100% option, and you and your spouse only survive 3 years, there may be no continuance of those benefits to your children, for instance, or to your estate. So the monies you've essentially deposited could end up back with the pension company.
Wow. And there's no way around that at all?
No. So the single life option, though, is one way around it. But if if your spouse isn't dependent or you don't have a spouse, you're going to look at the single life option and look at a 5, 10, or 15 years. Then do the comparison as far as what is that monthly amount look like. Like, is it $100 a month difference if you went from a 5-year to a 10-year term? And you're going to choose accordingly. So always make sure that you have something that you're, kind of passing on to your children if that's what you want to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I didn't know about that.
There's so many features. You need to really look at all the options. Some pensions will offer like a bridge benefit and maybe a temporary annuity. So if you retired at age 60, the bridge benefit will go to age 65, and then at that point in time, the bridge and the annuity will cease if you've chose both, or if you have that option. Yeah. So you want to choose wisely. You want to make sure that you get the biggest bang for your buck, and also make sure that your loved ones are looked after should something happen to you early.
Right. So that's pretty much some of the points that you consider when making your elections. Is there anything else we should be looking at?
Yes. Look at any continuing benefits. So if you have a pension, usually defined benefits will have something that carries on after retirement, be it health insurance or dental, maybe a sort of a life insurance component. They're not usually that great, but it also, as Shelby spoke to last week, you have the option of converting your health and dental normally. So if you have a pre-existing condition, you can still get those dental and health benefits. Pay attention though, because a lot of them will give you health, not dental, or dental only for a certain period of time. Wow. And quite often nothing is guaranteed. So those benefits can change as the performance of the pension fund does.
Wow, so definitely get educated. That's pretty much really what we're saying, because there's a lot of little things that people would never know.
Exactly. Yeah. So most providers will offer seminars or educational information evenings, usually a couple times a year. Take advantage of them. Start planning early. So don't wait until a year before you're going to retire and then say, hey, I better go and look and see what can I get in my pension and what's my best choice. So start early, talk to your advisor for sure. They can usually give you great advice on what that looks like in a difference of monthly amount if you choose one option over another.
Excellent.
So yes, definitely.
Wow. Good info there.
Yeah, be informed.
So we're going to go to our question of the week now. Can I split my CPP benefit with my spouse?
Yes, you definitely can split it. Now, it depends. So a lot of people will look at income splitting. You know, just both spouses may have a CPP benefit, and one is higher than the other. So in order to sort of equalize your income, you're going to want to split that. You have to be 60 to do that, and you have to be collecting, so or having applied for it. And you can't, like one party collect their CPP and the other hold off. You have to both be, if you're going to split it, you have to both be collecting. And then there's the splitting in the event of a marital breakdown or a dissolution of a marriage. So be very clear on what that means. If you were dissolving your marriage and decided to split your CPP, you want to take a lot of factors into consideration as you would with your pension, and that's longevity. How long does it look like I will survive, or my spouse? If you split your CPP because of a dissolution, something happens to the other party, you're not going to get that portion back. It's done. So say it was $1,000, your spouse only was entitled to $5. So to make up that difference, you divide it down the middle at $750. Something happens to one of you, the other spouse is only going to get that $750 for the rest of their lives. So you really want to make sure. A lot of people don't think that. They think, well, if that
person's get my portion back,
out of the picture, then I still get it. You do not. So be very careful about what you decide. There's other ways around that. Maybe if you can make a different arrangement with your former spouse. So take a look at the options before you make a decision.
Good information. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If you have any other questions, or you want to get a hold of Sandy and the team there at Abbott Wealth, all the info on the screen for you there, abbottwealth.com, and the phone number there for you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
You bet. See you later.
We've got more Midday for you coming up right after this.